What's going on, guys? It is Royalty Crypto here, and welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be talking about SEI coin. It was actually requested by one of my new subscribers, so shout out to them. And before we get into this, guys, if you have any coins that you want me to do a video review on, please drop them in the comment section. I would be happy to do so. And also, this is a new channel, so I would greatly appreciate any support. Please like and subscribe, and drop some comments in the comment section. Let me know what you like, let me know what you don't like, and yeah, without further ado, let's get right on into this video. So when we take a look at the SEI coin, it is sitting at 19.5 cents here, and it has a market cap of 1.21 billion, making it the 65th most valuable coin in the space. It has a fully diluted market cap of 2 billion, so the tokenomics aren't terrible on this coin. It's much better than SEI, the coin I reviewed yesterday, when it comes to tokenomics, which you do like to see. And just briefly, just to let you guys know, we don't have all of the coins going into circulation until 2033 on this coin. So the inflation is there. However, it's not that dramatic, so I'm not too worried about that. When it comes to price predictions for a project like this, the sky is really the limit. SEI is one of the most popular new Layer 1 blockchains and one of the most promising in my opinion. So if this coin was really to gain some traction in a positive altcoin environment, you could potentially see this push to $80 to $100 billion market cap. So it has that 80x potential. You know, I'm not saying that it necessarily will get that high, but it is possible. I think a more realistic target, however, for SEI in the next year or so is probably more like 20 billion to 30 billion, which is still about, a 25x to the top of that range there. So that's still fantastic upside for a project like this. They have $78 million in 24-hour trading volume, which is not too bad for a coin with a market cap this small. However, I would like to see this push up more towards like the $500 million range. And if it does end up getting to that level of volume and sustaining it, then yeah, I easily could see this project at least pushing to 5 billion in the short term. Let's go ahead and take a look at their Twitter account here. So SEI has almost 800,000 followers on Instagram, or on Twitter, which is fantastic. It really does show how massive this community is behind it. And when you go down to their most recent tweet, it says institutions and enterprises are choosing SEI's battle-tested, trustworthy infrastructure as a key pillar for the on-chain era of global finance. And as you can see here, there is some massive names that they're working directly with. You have Chainlink, Ondo, Circle, and Tether, the two biggest stablecoins, PayPal, even MetaMask down here. I know MetaMask is kind of going out of style, but still. It's fantastic to see them working with so many big players in the Web3 space, and even a big player in the Web2 space being PayPal. Also, you can see here that this tweet was only posted 8 hours ago, as I said, and it already has over 100 reposts, over 500 likes, and 25,000 views. So it really does go to show that there is a massive community behind this project, and when a project has a community that's this strong, I don't personally like to fade it. All right, so is it a good time to buy SEI and other altcoins? In my opinion, it is absolutely a good time to buy. The reason for that is because when you look at the Crypto Fear and Greed Index here, it's showing that we're at a 32 out of 100. So we are well into fear. However, it does seem like the sentiment is starting to flip just a bit. I don't know if you guys have noticed that personally, but it seems like my X feed has gone from people just saying we're going into a full-blown bear market to, a little bit more positive takes. People are starting to talk about rate cuts again. People are kind of talking about how the gold all-time high correlates with the beginning of a Bitcoin run. So that's good to see. I definitely would like to see this get back into at least a neutral by the end of October. That would signal to me that there's a good chance that we will see a bull run towards the end of this year. And if it doesn't happen at the end of this year, I do expect it to happen sometime in 2026. All right, guys, one more tweet I wanted to take a look at. This is massive here. So President Trump just selected a pro-Bitcoin and crypto Michael Sillig as the SFTC chair. So the SFTC, if you're not aware of what they do, they actually oversee all of the commodities and basically rule what's a commodity and what's not a commodity. And if you were a part of crypto in 2023, basically all we wanted back then was for Bitcoin and Ethereum and basically most cryptos to be referred to as commodities, because the regulations are significantly better if they're considered a commodity. So that's very good to see. Very, very bullish for crypto. All right, let's take a look at the FedWatch tool CME, which is what predicts the FOMC meeting. So as you can see, we are getting very close to the next FOMC meeting. It is in 4 days and 20 hours. It's next Wednesday afternoon, to be more particular. And after the inflation data came out today below expectations, we are sitting at a 97% chance of seeing a 25 basis point rate cut at this meeting, which is incredibly bullish. Definitely want to see that, and I do expect that we will get it. Also, I've seen multiple different analysts come out saying that it's very likely that Jerome Powell will announce that we are officially flipping from quantitative tightening to quantitative easing, which is very, very, very good for risk on assets. So fingers crossed, guys. Let's hope that meeting goes well. And I could really see this being a catalyst that pushes crypto much higher from now until that meeting. And once that meeting does happen, obviously there's a good chance that we could have like a buy the rumor, sell the news event. But nonetheless, that's all just short-term noise. All right, let's take a look at the Bitcoin liquidation heat map. So I kind of talked about this in my video yesterday. We are sitting just in the middle of a lot of liquidations to the upside and the downside. And the reason for that is just the amount of volatility we've seen over the past few days. It really just cleared a ton of this liquidity out. But it does seem like, we are pushing up towards this area of short traders yet again. And if we can get back up to 114,000 with some momentum, there's a very good chance that we could have a bit of a short squeeze happen in the market, kind of similar to what we saw back on the 10th of October to the downside, except this would be to the upside. And yeah, I mean, if that were to happen, we could potentially push from 114,000 all the way up to about 118,000 and just absolutely wreck the bears in a matter of hours. So I really hope that that happens. And with all the positive news coming next week with the macro, I definitely am leaning towards that being the more likely scenario in the market. And as you see here, Bitcoin is currently sitting at 111,000 flat. And it is still maintaining this uptrend from our bottom on October 25th, which is good to see there. And yeah, we are going into the weekend with, I'd say, a bullish sentiment. So it would be nice to see at least holding 111,000 this weekend, or even, pushing back up to the 113,000, 114,000 range and setting us up for hopefully a very bullish week next week. And when you take a look at Ethereum here, we are sitting at 3,940. So not too much is happening with Ethereum here. It is kind of forming, this channel here, as you can see. So hopefully we break to the upside of that. If Bitcoin has a good week next week, Ethereum will undoubtedly have a good week next week. And I could really see this pushing back up to like the $4,500 range and hopefully trying to retest all-time highs again for like the fourth time. And who knows, guys, maybe fourth time's the charm. Maybe we'll actually break it. Maybe we'll finally push into the 5,000s for Ethereum. If that is the case, it would be very, very positive for all the altcoins in the space. Well, anyways, guys, that's going to do it for this video today. I hope you guys have a great Friday night and a fantastic weekend, and I will see you tomorrow.